Thanks for taking a few minutes. Appreciate it. We'll start with Jim to your right, Rob.
What does this do to your pitching plans?
So we'll go, tomorrow will be Ranger. That'll line him up for potential Game 7. And then we'll go Nola on regular rest. And then if we don't use him in the next couple of days, we'll go Syndergaard Game 5. If we do use him, it might be Gibson, and we're going to give Wheeler extra rest. And he'll be still Game 6. He's fine. You know, it's late in the season. Velocity's dropped a little bit. He's fatigued. I just feel like he needs more time.
The back right corner, Rob.
Rob, did you have an inkling this might happen tonight?
Yeah, I did. Just looking at the radar, you know, it looked like it was going to pick up over the course of the night, and it looks like at 9 o'clock it's going to be raining pretty hard. So
We'll go to your left, Rob.
right
Marcus.
decision, really.
Rob, you mentioned Gibson. Excuse me. I understand you talked to him before the first series. What was that conversation like, and how did he take it, and how have you been relatively impressed with his demeanor since?
He's been great. He's a pro. I mean, when I talked to him about he's probably not going to be in the rotation, but use him out of the bullpen long, maybe for an inning here and there, depending on the matchup and the pocket. Complete professional, and he's been a leader down there and helping people stay calm and poised, and it's been great.
Standing on your left, Rob, to, Matt.
Is Wheeler's elbow, is it a similar situation to earlier this year? Do you think that has affected
He's
him?
fine. It's fatigue.
We'll go to Todd in the front row.
If Noah is needed these next 2 games and Kyle is needed to pitch Game 5, how long could he go? Is he a 2-3 inning guy, kind of like a Noah situation, or?
I think so. He's probably a 60, 65 pitch guy. Yeah, I think that's safe.
We'll go to the second row on the left.
Earlier, I asked Ranger how it is that he stays so calm in these situations, being, you know, a kid. This is his first appearance in a World Series and in the postseason at large. What do you attribute that to? How does he stay so calm and collected?
I think just some guys are like that, you know. Some guys get sped up. Some guys get a little excited, and some guys, their heartbeat stays the same, and Ranger's one of those guys. Nothing seems to affect him. Situation, game state nothing really bothers him. He's really great about that.
Go back to Marcus in the second row.
Did you guys figure out what was wrong with Kyle, or why he got hit so hard in September? And what did you see in San Diego from him in the 4 outs that he got?
Who? Oh, Gibby. Oh, yeah. I think fatigue. I think more than anything. You know, you saw in the one appearance, his velocity went back up. It was like 95, good sink, maybe a little rusty, but at least the arm strength was back. And you know, I think it was a fatigue factor coming down the stretch for him.
Take a couple more, the back right corner.
Rob, sorry. A delay like this helps, hurts. I mean, guys, I'm sure are ready to go tonight. Any reaction on how this might affect them or help them?
No, they were good. They're getting in the shower and they're going home. They'll come back and strap it on again tomorrow.
Standing against the left wall.
Rob, over here, I kind of sort of follow up on that same kind of thought. Your team has been loose throughout these playoffs and through this run towards the end of the season. How much do you think that kind of mentality helps them in a situation like this where you're geared up and ready to play, and now, as you said, they're going home?
Yeah, I think it factors a great deal, you know, because that's the way they are. They're ready to play, and if we don't play, they're good with it. They'll go home, get a good night's sleep, and come back and do it again tomorrow. But I think the biggest thing is that they want to play in dry conditions. They really do. I mean, they'll play in the wet. They don't care, but I think everybody'd rather just play in dry conditions. We know we're going to get it in. It's going to be fair for everybody, and we go get it.
Do 2 more. Gabe in the fourth row center.
Rob, is it a positive development for you guys that the Syndergaard or Gibson game will come up the day before an off day? Will that help you?
That's part of it too. Yeah. So we can empty our bullpen, so to speak, and then we have a day off, and everybody should be ready to go the next day.
One last one for Rob. All right, Rob. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Rob, what weather reports have you gotten about tonight?
Nothing yet. There's going to be another meeting. I'm not sure what time, but Dave's going to come down and get me when we go. What I look at on the radar, it looks like it's going to rain later on tonight.
If there wasn't a game tonight, would Noah start tomorrow or would Rangers start?
Yeah, we haven't really looked at it. I mean, we've come up with a couple of different scenarios, but we haven't decided on anything yet.
We'll go to Greg up here in the first row on your right, Rob.
How would you describe the atmosphere and the energy inside this park when you guys get going during this postseason run, and what kind of lift does that give you guys?
It's something that, truthfully, I've never experienced. I mean, it's so loud. It goes from the first pitch to the last pitch. There's so much energy that it just energizes our players and motivates them, and I think it's just a huge advantage for us.
Go to the third row on your left, Matt.
I asked this only because maybe it could happen again tonight, but Sir Anthony was pitching during that rain in the NLCS. Did you guys ever figure out something maybe that could help him do better in that scenario? I don't even know how you would do that.
Yeah, I don't know how you would either, because you just couldn't keep the balls dry. It was just raining so hard. And I don't think MLB or anybody, Astros, us, we want to get into that scenario again. So I think they're going to be pretty careful with that.
Other questions? Ron in the second row.
As there's more talk of possibly keeping the runner on second rule for extra innings going forward next year, what's your opinion? You like it or not?
During the regular season, I like it. During the playoffs, I don't. I think you play baseball. But with the way the rules are now, where if you have to option a player down, they're down, or a pitcher down, they're down for 15 days. So that runner at second base, you're not going to get into a 17, 18 inning game. I mean, the chances are slim. So that helps you with, roster juggling and things like that.
Just because the way the game has evolved of using 4, 5, 6 relievers every night?
I guess it has partly to do with it, yeah. You're really stringent on pitch counts for your starters, and typically they're lower now than they were even 10 years ago. So you get into one of those 17, 18 inning games, you're going through pretty much everybody out of your bullpen, and then you got to start making player moves. And when guys have to be down 15 days and you just sent down 3 or 4 of your pitchers and you can't bring them back, then, guys are coming off the roster to fill in, and that's just not, you don't want that.
Other questions for Rob? We'll go to Tim up front on the left. Oh, sorry. And then we'll go to Mike next.
Hey, Rob, there was some talk by Sunday morning, maybe it was Saturday night, that about the perfect umpire game. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if you noticed during the game, not that it was perfect, but that the job was being done was exceptional, or if that sort of doesn't fly on your radar.
The way I look at it, or the way I figure out whether a guy's doing a good job or not, is whether the players are yelling at him. And nobody was really said a word all night long, so he did a great job.
Isn't that his reputation?
Yes. Yeah.
And we'll go to Mike standing on your left, Rob.
Rob, over here. You have a long relationship with Kevin Long. I was just wondering what's it meant having him here. And this is the 4th different team he's been to the World Series with, and just what he's brought here.
Kevin's one of my best friends. He's a guy that I really rely on. I really trust. He is the best hitting coach I've been around. Not just mechanically and game planning, but also the fact that when a player leaves the cage to go into the game, he thinks he can really hit. And that's who Kevin is. He's he's great at making players feel good about themselves. And, his energy and his positive outlook just reverberates throughout the entire team.
The third row on your right.
Rob, if the weather forces a change today, that might change when Noah goes. What have you seen from him in terms of just his flexibility and how he's accepted a kind of a different non-star role here?
Well, as far as his pitching flexibility, it's huge for us because, you know, he can give you 3 or 4 innings right now because he's not really stretched out. But he can start. He looks very comfortable coming in the middle of a game. Looks like the same guy. He throws strikes. He's going to challenge guys. He's not going to walk people. He's just been a huge guy for us, you know, ever since we got him. He's really given us good starts, and he's been really good out of the pen.
Go to the third row on your left, Rob.
Bryce said recently that he's really appreciative of how the team and the city have accepted him for who he is. Over the past few years, how have you seen him kind of come into his own and mature?
Well, you know, I think everybody matures a little bit as they get older and get more experience, but I think, you know, he puts a lot of pressure on himself because he wants to do well for not only his teammates, but for the city and for the organization. And sometimes he puts a little bit too much pressure on himself, I think. But from the time we got him till now, he's really become a really good teammate. It looks like he feels very comfortable in this clubhouse. Guys are comfortable with him. He walks around with a lot of confidence, and that spreads throughout his teammates as well. I think he's matured in a lot of different ways, to tell you the truth.
Far back on your left, Kyle.
Rob, you've had a couple guys, Nick Castellanos, Alec Boehm, guys not known for their defense, make some really nice defensive plays this postseason. You spent a lot of time coaching outfield defense with the Yankees. Bobby Dickerson's known as a great infield coach. How much was shoring up the defense a point of emphasis for you once you took over the job?
Well, I think it was a point of emphasis even from the start of spring training, and it's kind of evolved and gotten better as time has gone on. And you really have to give Paco Figueroa a lot of credit there too, because he's a much better outfield coach than I was, I can tell you that. And those guys work for him, and they're out there every day shagging and getting reads off the bat and throwing the bases and things like that. Yeah, so I mean, our defense got better in the second half, but I don't think it was because I came in and said, hey, we got to make the defense better. We said that from the start of spring training. So it's been an evolution throughout the course of the year.
Barry in the back.
Hey, Rob, just following that up, with all the metrics that are available now, how much is it attributed to that you can put a guy like Castellanos or Schwarber into the best position you possibly can for them to make good plays on their limited ability?
Yeah, it's huge, and I think that's another part of the evolution of our defense is that our R&D, research and development people put all the spray charts together and the suggestions together of where they should stand. It's evolved. It's gotten better over the course of the year, just through trial and error. And you combine that with the work that Bobby's done and the work that Paco's done, and now we're, you know, I feel really comfortable about our defense.